This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well, at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined occasionally by my football gurus, Paul and Ian. Let's get to it. What's going on, Ram fans? Episode 276 of Rams Up, our last drop before this Rams-Dolphins game, big Monday Night Football game, even bigger due to the fact that the Cardinals and the 49ers both won, unfortunately, on Sunday. But Rams can't control that. They just got to go out and beat the Dolphins. And I'm guessing the offensive line is going to be at left to right, Alaric Jackson, Steve Avila, Jonah Jackson, Kevin Dotson, and Joseph Noteboom. But Rams playing it close to the vest. Maybe Bo Limmer plays. Maybe it's Warren McClendon instead of Joseph Noteboom. We may not know until 90 minutes before the game or so, but that's my guess. And Tyreek Hill saying he's going to do everything he can to play. I mean, I'd hope that's always the case, but he's dealing with that wrist injury. I suspect he'll play. The Rams should prepare for him to play and adjust if he can't. And it should be a welcome adjustment, not having to deal with Tyreek Hill. But I suspect they're going to have to deal with one of the fastest, most dynamic wide receivers in the game. But our defensive line, outside linebackers, got to make Tua miserable. He is so good at getting rid of the ball on tempo. Going to be a real challenge for our defense, especially with their 3 running backs they go to. Going to be a big challenge. Sticking with my prediction, Rams win 27-24. Not sure if I'm going to have time for a pregame pulse video. Got some stuff going on. I'll try to get it done. If not, this is the last you'll hear from us. Rams Up until after the game. Our post-game reaction video. And what do I have this episode coming up? I have my loop around the league since the Rams are going off last. I'm going to go through every game this week. And it was a pretty pitiful week from an offensive standpoint. Well, it started out nice. The Bengal-Raven game was kind of off the hook offensively. Jamar Chase, 264 yards receiving. And get this, Jamar Chase had more yards than 6 teams. That's right, there were 6 teams that did not eclipse that 264-yard mark. 3 teams were well under 200 yards. A lot of bad offense being played in the NFL. The Jags, 143 yards. The Bears, 142. The Cowboys, 146. The Jets, 207. The Texans and C.J. Stroud, 248. And the Broncos, 260. And yes, all of those teams lost. Jamar Chase, 264 yards receiving. How about that? Hey, let's get our loop around the league out of the way. Ravens 35, Bengals 34 on Thursday night. That was a heck of a game. Ravens improved to 7-3. The Bengals dropped to 4-6. And I still say the Bengals have a run in them. This is a really talented team, as we saw in this game. This would have been a big win for them, though. 2 really impressive quarterbacks. That was a fun game to watch. Jamar Chase, 264 yards receiving and 3 TDs. Man, Flipper Anderson might have turned that game on. The end there, yes, the Ravens definitely got some breaks from the refs. That stuff happens though, and they're also hammering Joe Burrow pretty badly. There were a couple there where Burrow probably should have got a call. Early Sunday morning in Germany, a game none of us really care about, but it was a fun one. Panthers 20, Giants 17 in overtime. Giants had the ball first in overtime, fumbled, and the Panthers kicked the game winner. Two teams really wait until next year, right? But Brian Daboll, the Giants coach, I'm guessing he's going to get fired by the time you hear this, perhaps. Just my guess. Giants returner Emir Smith-Marset, by the way, threw what I'm calling a puka punch after a fair catch. He takes the fair catch, gets bumped into by one of the Panthers, and he used to play for the Panthers, by the way, which may be part of the story. A little pushing and shoving, and then he takes a puka punch, very similar to what Puka did, to the head of a Panther, and they basically let it go. They called offsetting personal fouls. Press on. Probably what they should have done in the Rams-Seahawks game. Patriots 19, Bears 3. Bears slipped to 4-5. Battle of two rookie quarterbacks. They combined for 304 yards passing. The Bears had 142 total yards. And here's another coach, the Bears coach, that's probably on the hot seat. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired by the time you hear this. Actually, he's probably more likely to get fired than Brian Daboll. The Vikings beat the Jags 12-7. The Jags had one more total yard than the Bears, 143. So there is some bad offense being played in the NFL right now. Sam Darnold threw 3 interceptions. The Vikings mustered just 4 field goals on offense, but they improved to 7-2. And in that tough NFC North, that's a game they really had to win, and that was one of my upsets. Well, that was my only upset. I predicted the Jags would win that, and I was actually pretty close, but came up short. Another team that came up short, the Broncos, I knew they were going to hang tight with the Chiefs. My special assistant thought they might actually win this game. Their defense came through. The Chiefs win 16-14, blocking a last-second field goal. I'm telling you, this may not be the Chiefs' year. I'm just not feeling it for them. I'll probably be proven wrong. Maybe they'll get rolling, but they do not look like a Super Bowl championship team to me right now. Back in a second with the rest of the games.
Blinds.com is kicking off the savings early with Black Friday mega deals all month long. A Blinds.com design expert can help you make the perfect selection on your schedule. We can even handle everything from measure to your whole home installed for just one low cost. With over 25 million windows covered, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Get up to 45% off site-wide, plus premium doorbusters and a free professional measure. Now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Saints take care of the Falcons 20-17. Sometimes this happens with an interim coach. They just get fired up and go out and play their best game of the year. It ends a 7-game losing streak for New Orleans. Tyrann Mathieu had an interception to end the Falcons' last drive and preserve the win. This is a really bad loss for the Falcons, but they're still in good shape within the division, having beaten the Bucs twice, and the Bucs lost as well. They lost to the 49ers 23-20. Baker Mayfield almost pulled it off for us. Thanks in part to a late 49er meltdown, the Bucs drive to tie the game up, tying field goal to make it 20-20 with 41 seconds left, helped along by a 49ers defensive holding, a face mask on Fred Warner, a roughing the passer call, and an illegal use of the hands, and those last 3 on 3 straight plays. Jake Moody missed 3 field goals, but did make the game winner. And those 3 misses might have had something to do with another part of the 49er meltdown. Deebo Samuel punching the 49ers long snapper in the neck on the sideline. Talked to my special assistant about this, and our theory is Debo got in Jake Moody's face perhaps about missing field goals, and the long snapper stuck up for him, and Debo punches him in the neck. We just don't see this with our Los Angeles Rams, and it's kind of nice. At least not since that Taylor Rapp Jalen Ramsey dust-up. The Seahawks and the 49ers, their culture is just a little bit different, and not one I am a fan of. And the Steelers beat the Commanders 28-27. We really should have been rooting for the Steelers here. The Commanders are one team the Rams might edge in a tiebreaker situation for a wild card spot. Pretty early to be talking about that, but Russell Wilson hit newly acquired Mike Williams for a 32-yard touchdown. Hey, maybe I quit on Russell Wilson too soon. I've been bagging on him for a couple of years, but he has this offense humming. But we have to remember this is a fairly mediocre Commander defense, so shouldn't get too excited. But the Steelers are 7-2. The Commander is still 7-3. They're the two biggest surprises in the league for me. The Bills rolled over the Colts 30-20. I've been talking about the Colts quarterback situation. It's easy to get excited about an old gun like Joe Flacco stepping in and playing well, but I don't think it's really going to last, and it didn't happen today. He had a total of 4 turnovers. Jonathan Taylor had a decent day, 21 rushes for 114 yards. He's a running back we have completely forgotten about. At least I have. Unless he's on your fantasy team, probably forget all about him. Man, a few years ago, before he had a couple injuries, he was perhaps the top back in the league. Just a complete win for the Bills. They improved to 8-2. Colts aren't done, but they do drop to 4-6, kind of in that same boat as the Bengals. They're not done. They're not out of it, but they better start stringing some wins together. The Chargers beat the Titans 27-17. Chargers had 7 sacks in that game. There was a weird play near the end of the first half. I don't know what the Chargers are doing. Kind of a McVay special, actually. 25 seconds left in the half. Chargers are up 13-7. Herbert drops back to pass, gets stripped of the ball, and the Titans return it for a touchdown. It gets overturned, ruled an incomplete pass, but what are they doing? What are the chances they're going to be able to get into scoring position with 20-something seconds left? More likely something bad's going to happen, and it almost did, but Chargers got the win in the end. Just a really weird play call, in my opinion. Well, we were hoping the Bucs would take care of the 49ers. They almost did, and we were hoping the Jets would take care of the Cardinals, and they got shellacked in Arizona 31-6. Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, and the Jets managed 207 total yards against this Cardinals defense. Kyler Murray, 22 for 24 for 266 yards. That's right, 2 incompletions, 1 TD, pretty much a complete win. There's only 1 turnover in the game. Jets gave it away once, so it wasn't about that. It was just domination by the Cardinals, and you're starting to wonder, maybe this Cardinal team is for real. Rams may have to take care of business when they play them the second time. Boy, these Sunday afternoon games were a really bad look for the NFL. Some bad football being played. The Eagles take care of the Cowboys in Dallas 34-6. Dak Prescott is done, so Cooper Rush got the start for the Cowboys. Trey Lance got into the game a little bit, and this was just an ugly game. Eagles played well, but the Cowboys did not. This team is in trouble. They are, at the moment, pretty irrelevant, and that's got to really hurt. Now, I don't know if it's the coaching. I think Mike McCarthy's got to go. But unless they do something at the top there, I don't know if things are going to improve real quickly. Bad day in Dallas. Eagles 34. The Cowboys 6, and they dropped to 3-5. And how about those Lions? Seems like all was lost. They're down 23-7. Jared Goff has thrown 5 interceptions, and they storm back, tie it up late on a 58-yard field goal that just gets inside the right post. This is Jake Bates, the wonder leg that the Lions signed. A lot of Ram fans wanted him. And then the last play of the game, he connects on a 52-yarder for the game winner, and that kick slipped just inside the left post. Now, Jared Goff, 5 interceptions. He's going to take some heat for that, but one was a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. One was a tipped pass, and another, he got rocked as he was throwing it. So still not a good night for Jared Goff, but the Lions still found a way to win on the road. Pretty impressive if you ask me. And like I mentioned at the top of this, held the Texans to fewer yards than Jamar Chase racked up in receiving yards. Lions appear to still be the class of the NFC, an 8-1 record. The Texans dropped to 6-4. That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.